Welcome to Hillsborough High School. Joining us live, JV action. We are in the second set. Hillsborough winning set number one by the score of 25-6. Wonewoc Center already doubling in their output. They're at 12 and 12-17 being served into that Hillsborough defense. Warrell's going to volley it over. Dug out by Warrell. Bounced up by Liska and Harris with a swing into the net. Going to bring Wonewoc a bit closer within 13-17 now. Back to serve for the Indians, or rather the Wolves, is Elena Ass. Technical difficulties again tonight. That compounded with Hillsborough starting a little bit early here. Nonetheless, Hillsborough winning set number one, 25-6. Wonewoc Center pulling a bit closer now, 14-17. For the Hillsborough defense, Warrell's going to pop it up. Liska will volley it over. And the Wonewoc serve. It'll be Harris, Warrell. Here comes Carmen Erickson with a kill off the top of the net. Puts Hillsborough up by 3, 18-15. And the Christiana Britsky serve. Going to go off the Wonewoc PS into the floor. And Hillsborough now 4-point advantage, 19-15. As they try to wrap this best of three up. Britsky serve to the back row of the Wonewoc defense. They fight one off the rafters and will get a volley. It's blocked up front by Elena Clark and put to the floor. And Hillsborough now leading by 5, 20-15, headed down the home stretch in this one. Christiana Britsky back to serve for the Tigers. The Britsky serve. Clear to the back. Again, Wonewoc get a volley, dug out by Liska. Warrell's going to set it. Kylan Bankston going to get it blocked up the front of the net. Wonewoc Center back on the board. Trailing by 20, or trailing by 4. The 16-20 serve. By Bridget Totskis. Going to go for an ace. Now 17-20 serve. Bridget Totsky back for the Wolves. Warrell's going to set up the Britsky pass, and Clark will volley it over. Dug out by Liska, set by Warrell. There's Elena Clark with a strong swing to the back row. Wonewoc will volley it and out of bounds. Hillsborough takes the 4-point advantage. And dropping back to serve for Hillsborough is Kylan Bankston. And Kaylin Stalkey into the front row for the Tigers. Wonewoc Center will get the return and off the front row and out of bounds. Checking into the front row for Wonewoc Center is Madison Price. Dropping back is libero Aria Schnorr. She'll be serving the 18-21 to Hillsborough. And the Schnorr serve. Floats one in, dug out by Clark, set by Warrior. Warrior's going to volley it over. And that one put right back by Clark. And Wonewoc can't handle it. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Hillsborough point. And Madison Harris will drop back and serve for the Tigers, leading 22-18. As the Wolves set their defense, the Harris serve to the back row of the Wonewoc defense. Right on top of the net and giving it a home is Kaylin Stalkey. And she'll drive it into the floorboards. And Hillsborough goes up by 5, 23-18, awaiting the Madison Harris serve. And now we'll have a timeout called by Maddie Benson, the Wolves coach. Hillsborough leading by 5 with 2 to go. First JV set, Hillsborough won 25-6. Wonewoc tripling their score in this set. They're up to 18, but bad news is Hillsborough 23. Bad news for the Wolves. You've heard of bad news Bears, well, it's bad news Wolves. And Hillsboro looking to put this one away and possibly get their JV reserve on the floor. Get everybody some playing time tonight. Wonewoc back after their timeout. And Hillsboro will come onto the floor. Britsky, Liska, Harritz, Woyrell, Stalky, and Clark on the floor for the Tigers. And the Harritz 23-18 serve floats one into the Wonewoc defense. Wonewoc will volley it over. Dug out by Liska. Set by Harritz. Elena Clark with a big swing to the back row. Now volleyed over. Dug out by Harritz. Passed by Liska. A swing by Woyrell, and she kills it into the far corner. And Hillsboro will take a 24-18 lead. And this one is for game, set, and match. Get on your feet, Tiger fans. Maddie Harritz about ready to serve up the win for this JV squad. She drives it to the deep in the Wolves defense. And they're going to give the point to Hillsboro. Wonewoc Center violation of the net. Hillsboro will win 25-18. And the JV will put another notch in their win column as they won set number 1, 25-6. They win set number 2, 25-18 to officially win the best of 3. They're going to do their rock, paper, scissors coin flip thing to see which side who gets for set number 3, which is irrelevant. And Hillsboro's JV reserve already making their way onto their floor as Coach Peshek is putting together her JV reserve lineup. And we're going to have JV reserve volleyball here as a junior varsity puts another one in their Scenic Plus Conference win column, defeating the Wonewoc Wolves 2-0. And the JV grabbing their water bottles and towels and going to go freshen up, or a couple of them have been moved up to that varsity squad. They're probably going to go change their uniforms, get ready for varsity action. 20 minutes following this next set. We'll have varsity action, Scenic Bluffs Conference. Wonewoc Wolves and Hillsboro Tigers both fighting to see who will stay in first place, as there's a three-way log jam atop the Scenic Bluffs Conference between Royal, Wonewoc Center, and Hillsboro. So a lot of excitement coming down here the last 10 days of the season. And happy to say Hillsboro's right into the thick of it. In fact, Hillsboro is maybe the only team that controls their own destiny. Hillsboro needs no help. They just need to win. Hillsboro wins out, and they are the outright conference champion. So take care of business, girls, and good things will come. Making memories here in 2022. As Coach Julie Peshek makes her last-minute adjustments for Hillsboro, Coach Maddie Benson getting some substitutes of her own on the floor. Get these young girls some much-needed experience. As the Hillsboro Varsity graduating 8 or 9 seniors this year. There's some big shoes to fill on that team next year, and this is where they're going to come from. So on the floor to start out for Hillsboro, Jillian Novacek, Kiana Griffiths, Esther Nilden, they don't like showing me their numbers very well. Lauren Hooks, I believe, is on the floor. And I see the Hemmersbach, Sydney Hemmersbach on the floor. And Xenia Reed. Reed and Nilden, foreign exchange students. So hopefully you're watching from overseas and get to see your daughters or loved ones playing some high school volleyball in Wisconsin in the United States. The libero Reagan Stanek waiting to check in. And she will check in for Xenia Reed, and play the back row. Start things off for Hillsboro. Sydney Hemmersbach to serve for the Tigers. 0-0 deep to the Wonewoc defense. Wonewoc will get it volleyed over. Dug out by Novacek. Hemmersbach and Stanek with an errant swing into the net. Wonewoc will go up 1-0. Dug out by Novacek. Hemmersbach pass it to Nilden. She'll volley it over. Wonewoc Center setting up a return, and they won't get it returned, and it's 1-1. Checking in for the Tigers is Bailey Cavallino. She'll check in for Jillian Novacek. Back to serve for the Tigers, a 1-1 score. Kiana Griffiths will be serving the tie game for the Tigers. And the Griffiths serve deep to the Wonewoc defense. Wonewoc will pop it over, dug out by Hemmersbach. Nilden will dump it across, right back. Griffiths into the net, and Hemmersbach can't track it down. It'll be 2-1 Wolves. Dropping back to serve for the Wolves, Carson Brigham will be serving for the Wolves. She'll errantly put it into the net. We're all tied up at deuces. They're going to call Hillsboro illegal rotation, so on the violation, even though there's an errant serve, Wonewoc's going to pick up a point. And Carson Brigham back to serve, though. 3-1 to Hillsboro, deep into the defense. Dug out by Hooks. Hemmersbach and now Bailey Cavallino will launch one over toward Maddie Benson toward the sidelines. And Wonewoc Center will jump out with a 4-1 lead. And now we got number 9 serving, Audrey Weber. It's going to be dug out and shanked up into the crowd by Lauren Hooks. So Wonewoc jumps out to a 5-1 lead here in this JV reserve contest. And Audrey Weber will put it clear to the back row. Stanek digs it out. Hemmersbach going to get it Cavallino. Cavallino will volley it over right back. Now Stanek will dig it out. Hemmersbach, and I believe that's Hayden Bond with a swing and a kill for Hillsboro. Get them back on the scoreboard. Trailing only by 3. Xenia Reed will check into the front row, and Esther Nilden drops back behind the line to serve the 2-5 to the Wolves. Nilden serve errantly goes under the net. Wonewoc Center will pick up a point on the air, dropping back to serve for Wonewoc Center. 23. My program is showing, I don't even have a 23. Anyway, she's going to serve into Hillsboro with an ace. I wish I could have her name and give her some credit. I'm looking at the wrong program. No wonder I don't know. I'm on a Cashton program. 23, Ella Lernmark with an ace. Dug out by Stanek. Hemmersbach sets it to Cavallino, and she'll dump it into the Wonewoc defense. Stanek again with a dig. Hemmersbach with a set. Cavallino swings to the back row, and Wonewoc can't track down the Cavallino swing. And Hillsboro with 3 on the board now, checking into the game. For Hillsboro, for Hayden Bond, going to be number 3. Elizabeth Cairns, the 3-7 to the Wonewoc defense, and Elizabeth will take one off the defensive specialist fists into the floor to bring Hillsboro within 3. And Miss Cairns will line up to serve the 4-7 into that Wolf defense. Strong serve by Cairns and an ace for Elizabeth Cairns. Putting on a serving clinic for the Tigers, and Cairns will track down the ball, drop behind the end line, and serve the 5-7 to Wonewoc Center. The Cairns serve, again deep, shanks it off the shoulder of the DS, and Wonewoc cannot recover from that one. And it's 6-7. And Cairns is going to try to even this thing up. Strong serve, line drive shots by Cairns. And the 6-7 on its way to the middle of the Wonewoc defense. Defense reeling, and they can't get it returned, and all of a sudden we're tied up 7-7. Elizabeth Cairns putting on a serving clinic for Hillsboro. The Cairns 7-7 tie, and she'll get a do-over. And she'll shank that one to the far side, and Wonewoc will return it. Dug out by Cavallino, right on top of the net. Cairns will pop it up to Reed, and Reed will put it over. And they cannot return the Xenia Reed hit. And Hillsboro with their first lead, I believe, of this JV reserve game. 8-7. Elizabeth Cairns going to serve up the first lead for Hillsboro. Deep to that Wolf defense. And they finally get one return. Cairns will dig it out. Reed's going to volley it over. And Wonewoc's will set up a return again. And they're going to get called for being under the net. A violation will give Hillsboro another point. So Hillsboro now 2-point advantage. 9-7, awaiting the serve from Elizabeth Cairns. She took over 7-3. And I just jinxed her, and she errantly serves it into the net. And drops the Hillsboro lead to 1. And dropping back for the Wolves, number 10. Should I give you a Cashton name? Number 10. 10. Josephine Richett. She's going to get this thing tied up off the hands of a Hillsboro player and out of bounds, and Richett will serve up the 9-9 tie for the Wolves. Floats one into the Hillsboro defense, dug out by Hemmersbach. Cairns will pop it up, and Stanek, well, not quite get enough on it. And Hillsboro once again trails 10-9. Awaiting the 10-9 serve from Josephine Richett. Dug out by Hemmersbach, Cairns, and Cavallino will give chase, but can't bring it back in. And Hillsboro drops behind by 2. And Richett back for her third or fourth serve now. The 11-9 floats one in. Stanek's going to get it. Cairns going to set it. Cavallino will not have quite enough muscle on it. And Hillsboro down by 3. So the 12-9 Richett serves. She'll float one into the Hillsboro defense. Hooks, Cairns, and Hemmersbach will volley it over. Wonewoc will get it volleyed over. Cairns will track it down, and Xenia Reed will get it volleyed across. Cairns will pop it up. Hemmersbach and now Reed, and Reed's going to get credited for a kill. The old no-look kill that one was, and she put it where nobody was. Xenia Reed getting the Tigers back on the board. Tigers trail by 2. Bailey Cavallino back to serve for the Tigers. The 10-12. Just almost. And 13-10 serve from Addison Benish. And errantly goes out of bounds. So Hillsboro now only trailing by 2, 11-13. Reagan Stanek, the libero, will drop back behind the end line and serve. Esther Nilden reporting into the front row. And Stanek, strong serve to the Wonewoc defense. They can't track it down. Now, Hillsboro only trailing by 1. And Stanek will drop behind the end line and serve the 12-13 to the Wonewoc defense. Get a return. Nilden will return the favor right back, and now they scramble. They get it returned. Cairns will dig it out. Hemmersbach will bring her back into play, and Nilden will volley it across. Nilden will again volley back the Wonewoc return. And Wonewoc can't get enough meat on their hit. We're all tied up at 13 once again. So 13-13. Reagan Stanek back to serve for the Tigers. And Stanek will errantly dump one into the net. And Hillsboro down by 1 again. Number 26, Brooke Phillips tracks down the ball. She'll drop behind the back line and serve for Wonewoc with a 1-point advantage. And she'll errantly put it in the net, and we're all tied up at 14 again. Well, this one's boiling down to which team is going to make the fewer mistakes. That's the team that's going to win. We got Hemmersbach back now. Sydney to serve up the 14-14 tie. Strong to the back row. Wonewoc trying to set up a return, and they can't. And Hillsborough up 15-14 now, as I see Jillian Novacek is in the back row as a defensive specialist. And the Hemmersbach serves strong to the back row again. Handcuffs to DS. And Hillsborough now up 16-14. And Sydney Hemmersbach with a 16-14 serve for Hillsborough. Strong and an ace for Sydney, as the DS can't get to it from the fist to the floor. And Maddie Benson wants to talk over with their Wolves as Hillsborough jumps out to their biggest lead in this JV reserve game at 17-14. And Coach Maddie Benson calls a momentum-killing timeout. Back after the timeout, Sydney Hemmersbach will call for a new ball, a sanitized, clean, dry ball. And the 17-14 into the Wonewoc defense. And they let it go, and it just floats out of bounds. She's been painting that line all night. Wonewoc got wise to it. I'm sure they discussed that in their timeout. So the 15-17 being served from Izzy Field. And she'll errantly put it in the net, give Hillsborough back the serve and the point. And Kiana Griffiths will drop back and serve the 18-15. Is checking into the front row for Jillian Novacek is Bailey Cavallino. The Griffiths 18-15 serve, and she'll errantly return the favor to Wonewoc Center. And it's 16-18, and dropping back to serve is Mariana Boleyn. Boleyn paints the line for an ace in the back row. Brings Wonewoc Center within one on the Boleyn ace. She'll get ready to serve 17-18 to the Hillsborough defense. And Boleyn is going to errantly serve one right into Hayden Bond's legs underneath the net. Put Hillsborough back up by 2. Hillsborough now leading 19-17. Esther Nilden back to serve for the Tigers. The Nilden serve just a little bit wide right, be an error. And it's 18-19, Hillsborough leading by 1. Serving for Wonewoc Center, Ella Lernmark. And the Lernmark serve, not quite enough, an error. And Hillsborough will go up by 2, 20-18. Checking into the game for Hayden Bond is Elizabeth Cairns. And Elizabeth will drop behind the line with a 2-point advantage and serve. She floats one across. It is returned. Hemmersbach, Cairns, and now Cavallino volley it out of bounds. And Wonewoc Center will cut the lead to 19 as we head down the home stretch here. The 19-20 serve going to be performed by Josephine Rickett. Dug out by Hemmersbach, set by Cairns. And Xenia Reed with a swing and a kill for Xenia. And Hillsborough will go up 21-19. Kiana Griffiths going to check in, report to the front row. She'll check in for, I think, Haley Hooks. Bailey Cavallino serving the 21-19 to Wonewoc Center. And they can't get it volleyed back over, and it's 22-19. And Bailey Cavallino will drop back and serve the three-point advantage up to Wonewoc Center. Cavallino serve, errantly will slide under the net. And dropping back for Wonewoc Center, number 45, Addison Benish, will serve the 20-22. Into the Hillsborough defense is Jillian Novacek back as a DS for Hillsborough now. And Benish will errantly serve one into the net, so Hillsborough the three-point advantage. And Reagan Stanek tracking down the ball, dropping behind the end line. Serve the 23-20 as Nilden will now enter the game for Reed and go to the front row. Reagan Stanek will throw up an ace to the Wonewoc Center Wolves, and Reagan Stanek will be serving up game point for this JV reserve team. 24-20. This one's for all the marbles. And Reagan Stanek will sling it into Wonewoc's defense. They'll shank it 3 rows up into the crowd. And the JV reserve will win 25-20. So, the junior varsity wins 25-6, 25-18, winning 2-0 over the junior varsity of the Wonewoc Center Wolves. The JV reserve wins 25-20. Has 2 Hillsborough teams, 2-0 for Hillsborough on the night. Awaiting varsity action in about 20 minutes. We'll clear the floor, wash the balls, have our captain's meeting, and I'll be back in about 15 minutes with a little pregame hype, and we'll get the Scenic Bluffs Conference action rolling. Welcome to Hillsboro High School in beautiful Hillsboro, Wisconsin, as we get ready for Scenic Bluffs Conference volleyball action. The Hillsboro Tigers find themselves a logjam at the top of the conference. They're at 8-2 versus the Wonewoc Center Wolves, also 8-2, and joining them is Royal 8-2 as they suffered a loss to the Wonewoc Center Wolves on Tuesday night. So three-way tie currently at the top of the conference. Hillsboro picked up their 20th win of the season Tuesday night versus Cashton, who's now in second place with 3 losses, and they're playing Royal tonight. So Cashton trying to fight their way back into this conference championship where everybody plays everybody. And the great news is Hillsboro is the only team that controls their own destiny. Hillsboro will be out to redeem themselves from about a week or 10 days ago when Wonewoc Center beat them. They'll want to return the favor tonight and take sole possession of first place. In order to do that, they'll have to find an answer for Kelsey Justman, the junior swinger from Wonewoc Center, who more or less single-handedly, in my opinion, beat Hillsboro about 10 days ago. Wonewoc Center is a team who have won 10 of their last 11 games after dropping 2 conference games early in the year. Wonewoc definitely playing lights out and the hottest team in the conference. It also makes the game a must-win for Wonewoc Center to maintain their status at top of the conference, as they played Hillsboro and they've played Royal, and I don't believe they play Cashton anymore, as they split with them. And so Wonewoc Center is going to need help. Either that or they're going to have to win out. So good luck to the Tigers. Next week they'll have Royal. Very tough game. First one we got to concentrate is winning tonight. Looking ahead to next week, they'll have Royal Tuesday night at Royal. And they play a quad at Wonewoc Center where they will play Bangor and Necedah. And if they can win out the season, Hillsboro will be the outright conference champs. So with that being said, we'll finish up our pregame warm-ups, have our national anthem, and our starting lineup. Stay tuned for Scenic Bluffs Conference Championship Volleyball coming up next. So there you have it, our starting lineups for Nikki Justman and the Wonewoc Center Wolves. We have Astana Gerween, Bryn Erdl, Stacy Copenhaver, Kelsey Justman, Emma Milbrand, Jalen Stowe, and the libero, Taylor Novi. For Hillsboro, Michelin Hansen, Violet Morin, Kira Bizarek, Tony Mitchell, Lily Von Falkenstein, Cameron Hansen, and the libero, Peyton Sullivan. So Sullivan will check in now for Lily Von Falkenstein as a libero. Some pregame hand signals by the officials, which I've never seen before. And now Taylor Novi is going to check into the game for Bryn Erdl and play the libero position for the Wonewoc Center Wolves. Tony Mitchell back to start things out here. First set, Scenic Plus Conference action, and Mitchell 0-0 serve into the Wonewoc defense. Here comes Kelsey Justman, and Violet Morin will block it, send it back. That's the one they have to find the answer for. Now Michelin Hansen with a kill in the far corner. Give her the whammy. Hillsboro up 1-0 on the Michelin Hansen kill. So Hillsboro finding an answer for Justman early. They'll have to do it early, often, and all night long, as Justman pretty much single-handedly beat the Tigers about 10 days ago. Mitchell with her 1-0 serve into the Wonewoc defense. Here comes Justman again. Blocked up front, but nobody covering for the blockers. And then we find ourselves 1-1 tied. Dropping back behind the line is Jalen Stowe to serve the 1-1 tie for Wonewoc Center into the Hillsboro defense. Off the top rope, Cameron Hansen, Tony Mitchell, and Kira Bizarek with a swing to the back row, and Wonewoc sets up the return. Kelsey Justman painting the far sideline for a kill, and it's 2-1 now, Wonewoc Center. You just got to get some bodies in front of Justman and not let her get that full swing. The Stowe serve, and it's going to be an ace, is it? Cameron Hansen and the libero Peyton Sullivan with a communication cross there. It lands right between them. And it's 3-1. Hillsboro cannot make mistakes, and they've made a couple of them already tonight. The Stowe 3-1 serve. Hansen dig it out too close to the net, and Hillsboro won't get it over. They're going to call him 4 hits. Got Mitchell close to the net. She hit it into the net. Morin hit it into the net, and the show was over. So now Stowe up 4-1. Hillsboro's going to have to start battling. The all-important set number 1. Dug out by Michelin Hansen, set by Tony Mitchell. Here comes Michelin Hansen. She's blocked up front. And we got Mitchell. Now Bizarek will volley it over. Wonewoc Center setting up a return. Here comes Kelsey Justman again, blocked up front by Michelin Hansen. And Wonewoc Center cannot handle it, and it falls to the floor. Hillsboro back on the scoreboard. 2-4 they trail. And Kira Bizarek, the senior, back to serve for the Tigers. Bizarek with a 2-4 serve to the back row. Justman will dig it out. They're going to set up swing, light swing. Sullivan, Mitchell's going to pop it up. Here comes Lexi Thorson with a swing, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Wonewoc defender. And Thorson, give her credit for a kill. And it's 3-4. Hillsboro only trailing by 1. And the senior Kira Bizarek dropping back to serve again. Bizarek strong serve to the back row. Wonewoc Center setting up a return. They get a volley over. Bizarek digs it out. Mitchell's going to bounce it over to Thorson. Thorson with a strong swing gets her own rebound. And now Michelin Hansen will volley it over. Kira Bizarek, Tony Mitchell with a set. And getting the volleyed over is Michelin Hansen. First shot blocked, second shot over. Kelsey Justman blocked by Violet Morin. Wonewoc Center keeping it alive. And Peyton Sullivan now will dig it out. Mitchell, and now Michelin Hansen puts it in the back row of the Wonewoc defense. Here comes Kelsey Justman off the top row. Sullivan, Thorson giving chase, keeping it alive, and now Mitchell will volley it across. Hillsboro playing some good volleyball. Hope that don't jinx them. They block Kelsey Justman up front. Violet Morin and Michelin Hansen rejecting it back in her face. And it's 4-4. We're tied up. And the senior Kira Bezeric back to serve the tie game. The Bezeric serve. Deep to the back row of the Wonewoc defense. Wonewoc reeling a little bit. Blocked up front by Michelin Hansen, but it went to the floor. But one thing Hillsboro's going to have to work on is not only the block falling between them and the net, but the back row. Someone's got to come up and cover for that block. So the libero, Taylor Novi, serving it now. Dug out by Sullivan. Mitchell's going to pop it up, and just over the top. Now Mitchell will dig it out. Thorson's going to pass it back, and Michelin Hansen will volley it over. Here comes Justman, tries to tap it over, and it's going to go off of Hansen and out of bounds via Wonewoc center point. The Wonewoc center now leads 6-4. And the libero, Taylor Novi, ready to serve for the Wolves. Dug out by Thorson, set by Mitchell. And Michelin Hansen with a little tippy-tap kill right over the top of the front row. Wonewoc center not expecting that one. Lily von Falkenstein now into the front row as Peyton Sullivan, the libero, the 5'6" into the Wonewoc defense. Handcuffs the defense a little bit. They will get it volleyed. Dug out by Bezeric. Set by Mitchell. Here comes Lexi Thorson. Strong swing in off the back row. Defensive specialist, and they're all tied up at sixes once again. Awaiting the ball and dropping behind the back end line is the libero, Peyton Sullivan, to serve the 6-6 tie for Hillsboro. Sullivan. Strong swing to the back row. Wonewoc center giving chase. They'll get a kill. That one by Bryn Erdl. She goes across court. Paints one right in front of Coach Mark Sullivan. Wonewoc center regains their lead 7-6. And Kelsey Justman to serve for the Wolves. The Justman serve. Dug out by Sullivan. Mitchell giving chase. Bezeric from the back row will swing and just out of bounds. The Wonewoc center will increase their lead by 2, and they're up 8-6, awaiting the Kelsey Justman serve. Dug out by Bezeric, set by Mitchell. Lexi Thorson is going to tap it over into play. And now Wonewoc will set up their return. They get it returned. Dug out by Bezeric. Mitchell sets. Michelin Hansen tips it over. Wonewoc trying to recover, and they do. Dug out by von Falkenstein. Mitchell's going to set it up. Michelin Hansen, they're going to call Tony Mitchell into the net. Gave a valiant effort, but set a little bit, passed a little bit too close. She couldn't keep it out. It's 9-6 Wolves, and the Justman serve. Dug out by Sullivan. Thorson is going to put it back into play. Lily von Falkenstein with a little bit too much elevation and right off the back wall. The Wonewoc center gets their 4-point lead back, 10-6. Kelsey Justman to serve again. Dug out by Sullivan. Giving chase, keeping it alive, and Mitchell does keep it alive. Kelsey Justman hard hitting out of bounds. Hillsboro back on the scoreboard. The only way they seem to stop Kelsey Justman is when she stops herself, and that was an errant swing by Justman. And Hillsboro pulls it in 3. Michelin Hansen, the sophomore, will be serving 7-10 to Wonewoc. And she handcuffs the libero in the back row. Call it an ace, if you will, as no chance to return as they call her for a carry. And it's 8-10. Michelin Hansen serving for the Tigers. Another one, Michelin Hansen now picking on the defensive specialist, Kelsey Justman, playing defense. Bounces one off her fist into the floor, and it's 9-10. So if you're going to beat them, go after their best. That's what Michelin Hansen says. She again goes right back to Justman. Wonewoc gets it volleyed over. Dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen with a set. Tony Mitchell with the swing to the back row, and Wonewoc will set up their return. And they put it errantly into the net. We're all tied up at 10 apiece. So Hillsboro, I don't know if they've ever really led. They've led 1-0, I believe. Otherwise, they've been tied a couple times. Michelin Hansen serving the 10-10 tie to the Wolves. Hansen strong serve, handcuffs the libero in the back row. And there's the lead for Hillsboro as they take the lead 11-10. Michelin Hansen to serve the 11-10, and she'll errantly put it into the net. So we're all tied up at 11s now. Dropping back to serve for Wonewoc Center is the senior Stacy Copenhafer. Dug out by Bazarek, and no one can track it down as it goes up into the crowd. It's 12-11 now, Wonewoc Center. Awaiting the Copenhagen 12-11 serve. And she'll float one out of bounds and give it right back. So trading airs. We're back at 12 apiece. Checking into the game, Cameron Hansen for Lexi Thorson. She'll grab the ball and drop behind the end line and serve the 12-12 to the Wonewoc Center defense. The Cameron Hansen serve. Floats one into the middle of the defense. Dug out by Michelin Hansen. Tony Mitchell is going to put one into the volley across. Kelsey Justman, back row swing. And it's off of Lily Von Falkenstein to the floor as they tried to block Justman's back row swing. Wonewoc Center back out front now by 1, 13-12. Checking into the game for Ertl. Cadence Hamburg in the serve. 13-12. Dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen will set up Bazarek. Bazarek will get it volleyed across. Wonewoc Center, full swing by Justman and up onto the stage. And we're all tied at 13. Checking into the game, Violet Moore into the front row. Dropping back to serve is Lily Von Falkenstein. The 13-13 tie in this all-important set number 1. Von Falkenstein to the back row of the Wonewoc defense. And it's dug out by Hansen, Von Falkenstein, and Bazarek. Not quite enough oomph backpedaling on that one. And Wonewoc Center takes the lead back, 14-13. And an errant serve. I'm trying to grab the number, 22. That's Astana Groween. Will errantly put it in the net, give Hillsboro back the tie at 14-14. And Tony the Tiger Mitchell, the senior outside hitter setter, will serve for Hillsboro. She'll take it to the back row of the Wonewoc defense. Wonewoc, Kelsey Justman. Strong swing, dug out by Cam Hansen, set by Mitchell. Kira Bazarek outside hit, and they put her a little bit too far outside. And Wonewoc Center will take back the lead, 15-14. Pins and needles for both sides. Not a lot of screaming and hollering. Both sides of parents for Wonewoc Center and Hillsboro, both kind of chewing on fingernails right now. 15-14. And the Stowe serve, dug out by Michelin Hansen, set by Mitchell. Michelin Hansen will pound it off the libero and up into the crowd. We're all tied at 15. Lexi Thorson checking into the game into the front row for Cameron Hansen. And Kira Bazarek, the senior, will drop back and serve the 15-15 tie into the Wolf defense. Bazarek, strong serve to the back row. Justman, Stowe. Now it's volleyed. Bazarek will pop it up. Justman gets it up, and too much for Hillsboro to handle off. Mitchell in the back row couldn't track it down. 16-15. The libero Taylor Novi serving the 1-point advantage to the Tigers. Dug out by Thorson, and great effort by Michelin Hansen as she kicks it up into the rafters. Wonewoc Center will be back on the scoreboard. They now lead by 2, 17-15. Taylor Novi, the libero for Wonewoc, serving it up. And it's dug out by Michelin Hansen, set by Mitchell. Violet Moore with a swing and a kill off the arms of Kelsey Justman. And Hillsboro pulls within 1. The libero Peyton Sullivan drops back to serve, and Lily Von Falkenstein reports back into the front row. Strong serve by Sullivan. Wonewoc Center sets up return. Here comes Justman. Bazarek will dig it out. Mitchell sets it up. Giving chase off the Michelin Hansen tip. And Wonewoc will get a volley. Dug out by Von Falkenstein. Set by Mitchell. Von Falkenstein can't get it over the net. So on the errant swing, Wonewoc Center regains a 2-point lead. And Kelsey Justman, they got to find an answer because they're having trouble with her serving also. 18-16. And Bezerick will dig it out. And now Sullivan got caught in the basketball hoop, and Coach Sullivan, he's in disbelief on that one. But 19-16 nonetheless. And the Hillsboro defense readies themselves for the Kelsey Justman serve. Justman's going to float that one errantly out of bounds. So brings Hillsboro back within 2. Michelin Hansen's going to drop back for Hillsboro, trailing by 2, 17-19. And the Wolves' defense is set. Hansen served to the back row. Blocked up front, dug out by Thorson. Now Peyton Sullivan will hit it out of bounds. And the Wolves leading by 3 now, 20-17, heading down the home stretch. And Stacy Copenhagen will drop back to serve for the Wolves. Copenhagen for serve, dug out by Bezerick. Set by Michelin Hansen over the net. And now it's blocked. Blocked by Lily Von Falkenstein. Blocked the Bryn Ertl swing. And Hillsboro pulls within 2 now, 18-20. And dropping back, Cam Hansen entering the game for Lexi Thorson and will be serving the 18-20 to the Wolves. And Hansen with an ace, hits the top of the tape on the net, rolls it across. As Wonewoc Center was all retreating or celebrating, and the ball had enough English on it, say, that it rolled over the net. 19-20 from Hansen. And she'll send one out of bounds, return the favor. And so it'll be 21-19 as Cadence Hamburg will check in for Ertl and drop back to serve with 21-19 to the Tigers. Dug out by Sullivan, set by Michelin Hansen. Lily Von Falkenstein with a swing. Wonewoc keeping it alive. Full swing by Kelsey Justman, returned by Peyton Sullivan. Again, they're looking another full swing and a kill. This one by the sophomore, Emma Milbrand. And it's 22-19, and we're going to have a timeout by Coach Mark Sullivan and the Tigers as they trail by 3 with 3 to go. So Wonewoc Center, definitely the hottest team in the Scenic Bluffs coming into tonight's game. They won 10 out of the last 11. Before that, they dropped 2 conference games early in the season. Knocking off Royal Tuesday night. Last week they knocked off Hillsboro, and now they're in here playing tough again against Hillsboro. Hillsboro just got to hike up the shorts and time to go. Kind of backs against the wall for everybody in the conference right now. And the team I honestly feel that wins out is the team that's going to win the conference. Do a little scoreboard watching. And Cashton currently leads Royal in set number 1, 12-8. So it'd be nice if the Cashton Eagles would give the Royal Panthers another loss. But it means nothing if the Tigers take care of business tonight. So. And the Hamburg serve, getting ready, 22-19 into the Hillsboro defense. Dug out by Sullivan, Michelin Hansen, Lily Von Falkenstein off the top row. And again, dug out by Sullivan, Michelin Hansen, clear across court. Kier Bezerick gets blocked. Now Tony Mitchell will volley it over. You're going to think and dunk. Michelin Hansen, heads up play, will hustle it across the net. Here comes Kelsey Justman, and she's going to hit it out of bounds. And Hillsboro back within 2, 20-22. You're going to have to take advantage of this. Justman's already made more errors in this first set than she did all last week. Lily Von Falkenstein back to serve the 20-22 into that Wolf defense. And she handcuffs the defensive specialist, Hamburg, or rather that's Copenhagen, into the floor. And Hillsboro within 1. And Von Falkenstein serving the 21-22. Strong serve to the back row. Get it again. She gets Copenhagen to the floor, and we're all tied up at 22 apiece. And Lily Von Falkenstein picking on the back row defenders. We're knotted up at 22. The Von Falkenstein serve. Again going after that back row. Novi gets it too close to the net, and Stowe can't dig it out. And Hillsborough with a lead late in the game, and now we have a substitution. As Wonewoc's going to put in, is it 20 Stowe? 21 Brooklyn Bolton they're going to put in on defense. Trying to shut Hillsborough down here. So Von Falkenstein with a 23-22 serve. To the back row of Wonewoc. Stowe track it down. Justman back row swing. Popped up by Hansen. Von Falkenstein to Zarek will volley it over. Blocked up front by Tony Mitchell. Now they get it out. Cameron Hansen will hit it up in the basketball hoop. Good concentration by Bazarek to volley it over. Justman. They're going to set up Justman. Back row swing. Dug out by Von Falkenstein. Michelin Hansen. Kira Bazarek with a swing to the back row. Here comes Wonewoc. They'll pop it over. Hillsborough reeling. Cam Hansen. Now Hillsborough let it go into the net. I think Hillsborough's under the impression they were going to get called for 4 hits. But one was off the block. I think they had one more swing left in them. And as a result, we're all tied up at 23. It's not going to go over anyway. Hit the ball and let the officials make the call. That was error on Hillsborough's part, a wish and a prayer, and I think Hillsborough could have did more to get that one back in play. So now the referee gets everybody straightened out on Wonewoc's side, make sure everybody's in the right spot. Peyton Sullivan will dig it out. Michelin Hansen going to pop it up. Tony Mitchell will volley it across. The Wonewoc center setting it up. Full swing by Justman. Blocked up front by Mitchell and Morin. Here's another swing. Blocked by Mitchell, but they can't cover her. And the Wonewoc center with a 24-23 lead. And Estana Graween, when we come back from the Hillsborough timeout, will be serving up set point here in this all-important set number 1. So Cashton and Royal in set number 1. Scoreboard watching. Cashton 15, Royal 14. And I'd like to thank and welcome the 85 viewers that we have watching this game. Just to put that in proportion, we thank you for your support. There's 29 viewers watching the Cashton and Royal game. So we're about 3-1, and we love every one of you. Joe would like you to hit that like button and help us gain some popularity and maybe some money so we can get some better equipment. There's a plug for grabbing sponsors. So we're coming back after the timeout. Wonewoc Center leading 24-23. Be a heartbreaker for either one of these teams. And it's do or die right now for both teams. Estana Graween with the ball and ready to serve. Set point for Wonewoc Center. Dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen with a set. Violet Morin far side and a kill for Violet Morin. And we're going to have to score extras in this one. It's 24-24. Tony the Tiger Mitchell dropping back, retrieving the ball, and will serve the tie game 24-24 for the Tigers. Mitchell strong serve, floating it down. Wonewoc Center, but they got Justman full swing. It's going to go off the Hillsborough defender and out of bounds. And once again, Jalen Stowe now dropping back to serve for Wonewoc Center, 25-24. And again, set point for Wonewoc Center. Dug out by Cam Hansen, set by Tony Mitchell. Here comes Kira Bazarek, strong swing. Wonewoc will set up a return. Here comes Kelsey Justman. And she's going to paint the sideline, and Wonewoc Center will win set number 1, 26-24. So kind of a heartbreaker for Hillsborough. You want to win that first set. It's a lot easier to play when you're ahead than you are behind. Early in that first set, Hillsborough making way too many mistakes. You have to put the ball in play. And Kelsey Justman, as great a player as she is, that's about the worst I've seen her play in 2 years. And so I don't know if they're going to get any more gifts tonight. They're going to have to buckle down and play solid ball from here on out. Update in Cashton rather. Cashton Eagles 21, Royal 15, with a Royal timeout heading down the home stretch in that one, set number 1. So Cashton doing all they can to help out the Cashton trying to help out the Tigers tonight by beating Royal. Hillsboro's going to have to pull it together now and win 3 of the next 4, which is a tall task against this very talented Wonewoc team. I'd like to thank Patty Bruja and Suzanne Gandy for their support of the Tiger Athletic Booster Club. I'd like to thank Moss Equipment, Hillsboro Equipment, Slama's Lawn and Sports for their support of Hillsboro Athletics, and Steve Tondi for his generous donation to the Booster Club. I'd like to also thank the Hillsboro Brewing Company for supporting the Hillsboro Tiger Athletic Booster Club with our many events, and the Metco team for supporting Tiger Athletics. I'd like to thank Mr. B Smokehouse Meats for their continued support of the Hillsboro Tiger Athletic Booster Club. Mr. B's Meats is open tomorrow. Stop down and get weekend ready. Going to be a nice weekend after a couple cool days. Get something to cook on the grill. Clark Power Sports for all your ATV, UTV, and trailer needs. See Clark Power Sports in downtown Hillsboro. And Steckel Family Farms there. Jill Steckel and her maple syrup. If you need something for your pancakes, get a hold of Jill. She'll fix you right up. So both teams taking a full 3 minutes between that first set and the start of the second set. And that first set, a real barn burner, having to go a little extra. Wonewoc Center coming out victorious, 26-24. So they're in the driver's seat right now. Hillsboro they'll have to win this second set. They definitely don't want to drop down 2-0. And they'll have to scramble. Wonewoc Center beating a tough Royal team 3-0 on Tuesday night. And on the floor now, Wonewoc Center, Adjustment, Stowe, Gerween, Erdl, Copenhafer, and Milbrand. Now Taylor Novi's going to check in for Erdl and play libero. Hillsboro's got Morin, Bazaric, Tony Mitchell, Lily Von Falkenstein, Cam Hansen, and Michelin Hansen. Now Peyton Sullivan will check in for Lily Von Falkenstein and play libero. Starting it out, Gerween with a 0-0, and it's dug out by Cam Hansen. Michelin Hansen sets it. Kira Bazaric with a swing. And again, Wonewoc set up return. Kelsey Justman, full swing, dug out by Cam Hansen. Michelin Hansen with a set. Here comes Tony Mitchell. She'll drop it in over the top row. And they get it over the top of big Violet Morin, big tall Violet Morin. Hillsboro cannot recover as they hit the floor. Wonewoc Center out to a 1-0 lead in set number 2. So Astana Gerween with a serve to the back row. Mitchell will dig it out. Michelin Hansen sets it up. Violet Morin with a swing on the near side. And Wonewoc will set up a return. And it's blocked by Violet Morin. They're going to say 4 hits. They're saying it never got over the net. And it's 1-1 off the errant swing of Wonewoc Center. And Tony Mitchell back to serve for the Tigers. Mitchell to the back row. Novi, Stowe, here comes Justman, and Sullivan will dig it out. Tony Mitchell going to the back row. Wonewoc Center give a chase. They will volley it over. Dug out by Cam Hansen. Tony Mitchell sets up Michelin Hansen. And Wonewoc Center will return it, but out of bounds. And Hillsboro will take the lead 2-1 here in set number 2. Tony the Tiger Mitchell, the senior outside hitter setter, lines up to serve the 2-1 advantage to the Wolves. Mitchell strong to the back row. Wonewoc Center keeping alive. Justman with a strong swing and off the middle of the defense, off Bazaric and up into the crowd. It'll be 2-2 now as Jalen Stowe will serve for the Wolves in the 2-2 tie. Stowe off the top line there. Hanson, Mitchell, and Michelin Hanson to the back row. Wonewoc Center setting up the return. Here's Kelsey Justman blocked up front by Violet Moore. And Kira Bezerk now going deep. And Wonewoc Center setting up return. Again, Kelsey Justman. Cam Hanson will take it out. It's near the net. Tony Mitchell can't quite dig it up off the net. And still drop back to serve the 3-2 advantage to Hillsboro. Peyton Sullivan and Mitchell. Mitchell gets it too high, but Violet Moore right back to him. And then Wonewoc Center's defense cannot recover. Everybody laying on the ground off the Violet Moore and tap. And it's 3-3, and the senior Kira Bezerk will drop back and serve as Lexi Thorson will check in for Cam Hanson and report to the front row. Bezerk strong swing to the middle of the defense. Here comes good save by Michelin Hanson. Now Tony Mitchell will dig it out. Peyton Sullivan is going to pass up front. Michelin Hanson charging up. And they're going to call Michelin Hanson for 2 hits. And Wonewoc Center will take a 1-point advantage. Taylor Novi, the libero, back to serve the 1-point advantage to the Tigers, right off top of the net. And Peyton Sullivan does all she can to keep the ball alive. And now they're going to call a carry, I believe they do, on Wonewoc Center. And we're all tied up at 4s again as Peyton Sullivan will drop back and serve. Lily Von Falkenstein will come in and play the front row. Sullivan, strong serve, middle of the defense. They're going to set up for a light. They're all set up for Justman to hammer it to him. She tipped it right over the top of him. Wonewoc Center now takes the 1-point advantage, 5-4, waiting Kelsey Justman serve. So Peyton Sullivan, Tony Mitchell. Here comes Michelin Hanson. She'll swing it back in. Wonewoc reeling a little bit. They'll get a full swing by Erdl. Michelin Hanson volleys it over. Now Gerween's going to get hers rejected back to him. Wonewoc Center giving chase. Stowe volleyed over. Dug out by Sullivan. Tony Mitchell. Michelin Hanson with a kill off of Kelsey Justman's hands. And it's 5-5. We're all knotted up again. And Michelin Hanson will drop back and serve the ball. If you're scoreboard watching, Cashton won the first set from Royal and leads 1-0 in that series. Michelin Hanson with the 5-5 serve. Peyton Sullivan, Michelin Hanson doing the hustle, keeping the ball alive. Now Michelin Hanson will dig it out. Peyton Sullivan. Lexi Thorson, not a quite enough weight room on that one. Doesn't make it over the fence. And Wonewoc Center will take the 6-5 lead. Dropping back to serve. Stacy Copenhafer for the Wolves. The 6-5 to Hillsboro. Kira Bezerk digs it out. Michelin Hanson's going to set it. Here comes Tony Mitchell, strong swing. And Wonewoc set up return. Kelsey Justman returns it, dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hanson. Kira Bezerk from the back row. And these girls got to get in the weight room. Kira tried to put some finesse on it instead of just powering it out that back wall. And Wonewoc Center now up by 2. So the Copenhagen 7-5 serve. It'll be dug out by Bezerk. Michelin Hanson. Lily Von Falkenstein will get a volleyed across. Blocked up front, and Lexi Thorson diving for the cover and can't get to it. Wonewoc Center now building a lead up by 3, 8-5. So Hillsboro reeling a little bit on defense. They're going to have to get it together right now. Copenhagen serve, dug out by Bezerk. Michelin Hanson going to set it up. Here comes Lexi Thorson. A swing off the front row, and they're trying to set it back up. Back row swing. Michelin Hanson, Tony Mitchell will run it down. Lily Von Falkenstein now to the back row. And that was going to go off Sullivan and to the back wall. And one of the bigger leads of the night for Wonewoc Center is they're up to a 9-5 lead. And Hillsboro reeling a bit on defense. The Copenhagen for 4-point advantage into the Hillsboro defense. Dug out by Bezerk. Michelin Hanson sets it up. Tony Mitchell with a strong swing. And they're going to say nothing in front of that one. Out of bounds. And it's 10-5 as Wonewoc Center doubles up on Hillsboro. And Stacy Copenhagen. What looks to be a comfortable advantage tonight. She'll serve errantly into the net. and bring Hillsborough back within 4. Cameron Hansen will check in for Lexi Thorson and go back to serve. Hillsborough trailing by 4, awaiting the Cam Hansen serve. Maybe Hillsborough's turn to go on offense. Hansen will serve it back. Justman, Stowe. You're going to set up Gerween, and she's blocked up front. And now Erdo will volley it over. Cam Hansen, Michelin Hansen. Lily von Falkenstein gets blocked, but almost got it to fall. Pushed back, dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen's going to pump it to the back row. And here comes Justman, back row swing, and nothing but hardwood underneath that one. And Wonewoc Center will take 11-6 advantage. Coming in to serve is Cadence Hamburg. I think Milbrand returns back to the front row. And Hamburg serve. Dug out by Bezeric. Michelin Hansen. That's Bezeric with a swing and a kill. So Bezeric gets a kill to bring Hillsborough back within 4. 7-11. Violet Morin's going to come back into the front row for Peyton Sullivan, as she'll take a break. Lily von Falkenstein serving the 4-point deficit into the Wolf defense. Von Falkenstein goes deep. Wonewoc Center reeling a little bit. Tony Mitchell put it down, and they keep it alive. Wonewoc Center. Von Falkenstein. Morin will get it volleyed over, and they're going to call 2 hits on Wonewoc Center as Morin puts it right in their lap, and they could not control it. 8-11 Hillsborough trails, awaiting the Lily von Falkenstein serve. And Hillsborough's got one to use. They'll pop it up. And Mitchell, magic. She gets it volleyed over. And Justman's going to get it caught. Great hustle by Hillsborough. They keep it volleyed. And Cameron Hansen off the Mitchell-Hansen hustle. And they blocked up front. Gerween is. Now Justman's going to get it to Stowe. Stowe's going to volley it over. Lily von Falkenstein, Michelin Hansen. And Tony Mitchell's going to pop one over. Now Kira Bezeric will return it. Jalen Stowe's going to set up. Here comes Kelsey Justman, back row. Lily von Falkenstein. Michelin Hansen will dump it to the back row. Jalen Stowe sets it up. Here comes Gerween. She'll pop it up. And she paints the line on the far side for a point. Great volleyball action. Great hustle by the Tigers, keeping that ball alive a couple of times. And it's 12-8 Wonewoc Center. And Gerween will drop back behind the end line and serve for the Wolves. And she'll serve it right out of bounds and give that point back to the Tigers. So we're back within 3. 9-12 as Tony the Tiger Mitchell retrieves the ball, and the senior will drop back and serve into this Wolf defense. The Mitchell serve. Back to the back row. Wonewoc get it up to Justman. She'll roll it up. Mitchell to Cam Hansen. Sullivan will volley it over. And Wonewoc Center sets up a return. A full swing block. Milbrandt's swing was blocked. Here they go to Justman. Justman gets it lobbed over. Bezeric, Mitchell, Michelin Hansen, and she'll get the kill off the libero. And Hillsborough within 2, 10-12. So Tony the Tiger Mitchell back to serve again for the Tigers. Trailing by 2, 10-12. And the Mitchell serve. Deep into the Wonewoc defense. They'll get it to Justman. Justman with a full swing and a kill. Put Wonewoc Center back up by 3. It's now 13-10. And dropping back to serve for Wonewoc Center is Jalen Stowe with a 3-point advantage. Cam Hansen will dig it out. Tony Mitchell is going to pop it up. And Kira Bezeric will volley it over. Here comes Wonewoc setting up their offense. And Kelsey Justman getting full swings on the Tigers now. And the Tigers going to have to do something to play keep away from Justman. 14-10, awaiting the Stowe serve. And that one goes right out of bounds, so an errant serve. A mistake will give Hillsborough a point. Lexi Thorson checking in for Cam Hansen, reporting to the front row. The senior Kira Bezeric will drop behind the line and serve the 3-point deficit to the Wolves. Bezeric will serve deep, and it goes off the defense specialist. The libero giving chase, and they'll keep it alive. Bezeric digs it out. Mitchell sets it up. And Peyton Sullivan will have to volley it over. Here they go. They get a full swing again, dug out by Bezeric. Mitchell sets it up. Here comes Lexi Thorson, and she'll tap it over. They set up Justman. Here she comes, full swing, and she'll paint the back line. The Wonewoc Center increased back to your 4-point lead, 15-11, as the libero Taylor Novi will drop back and serve for Wonewoc Center. Dug out by Thorson. Michelin Hansen will volley it over. Novi, Stowe, and here's Justman, and they got to get in front of her. Someone's got to find 17 and locate her at all times. She's putting on a one-man show again, just like she did last week. 16-11, Wonewoc Center, awaiting the Novi serve. Dug out by Michelin Hansen. Tony Mitchell, Michelin Hansen, she gets blocked. Michelin Hansen, now Tony Mitchell to the back row, and she'll handcuff the libero, a kill for Tony Mitchell. It's 12-16, Hillsborough down by 4, and the libero Peyton Sullivan will drop back and serve. Lily Von Falkenstein to the front row for Hillsborough. The Sullivan serve. Wonewoc Center setting it up. They're reeling. They'll get a volley and out of bounds. Hillsborough now only trailing by 3, 13-16. And Peyton Sullivan will line up to serve again for the Tigers. The Sullivan serve. She'll float one in. Adjustment. So's going to set it up. They get a volleyed over. Sullivan, Mitchell, Michelin Hansen off the DF. And they're going to also call Wonewoc Center in the net. They're going to call Jalen Stowe in the net. So Hillsborough will get the point on the violation. Nonetheless, it would have been a kill for Michelin Hansen. She's almost dejected that she didn't get credit for that. 14-16 from Sullivan. And she goes to the back row again. Stowe's going to pop it up. Here's Erdl. Sullivan, Mitchell, and Lily Von Falkenstein now will lob one to the back row. And Kelsey Justman's going to find hardwood floor again for the Wonewoc Center Wolves. 3-point advantage now, 17-14 for the Wolves, and Kelsey Justman back to serve the ball. Peyton Sullivan will dig it out. Tony Mitchell with a set. Here comes Michelin Hansen. She'll pop it up. And Kira Bezeric passed it to the front, and it's, I believe, Bryn Erdl got the swing on that one. It's going to be timeout for Hillsborough as they trail by 4, 14-18. Checking in, scoreboard watching, set number 2 in Cashton 13. Royal 13, Cashton leads that series 1-0. So Hillsborough getting the help they need so far from Cashton. It's just Hillsborough's got to get it pulled together and take care of their own business here on their home floor against a big-time rival. This could pave the way to a conference championship if Hillsborough wins tonight. If Hillsborough loses, we don't want to talk about losing. By all means, they're not done, but they're looking for help. And looking at Wonewoc's schedule, Hillsborough may not get any more help. So it's take care of business yourselves. That starts right now. Hillsborough's got to pull it together. I'm sure that's what Coach Sullivan's telling them. Concentrate, no more errors, get the ball in play, and hustle. So Hillsborough brings their team back on the floor. Von Falkenstein, Mitchell, Thorson in the front, Bezeric, Sullivan, and Michelin Hansen in the back. Kelsey Justman serving the 18-14 into the Hillsborough defense. Sullivan digs it out. Mitchell sets it up. Michelin Hansen with a strong swing. Blocked up front. It's going to go for a point for Wonewoc Center as it comes right back and falls on the floor in Hillsborough. And Hillsborough's got to learn how to cover that block. Kelsey Justman. Sullivan, well, and they're going to call over the net on Wonewoc's Bryn Erdl. And she did indeed go up over the top of the net as Hillsborough was trying to make a play on it. Gives Hillsborough the point on the violation, 15-19. And Michelin Hansen back to serve. She's getting explanation now. Coach Justman is getting explanation from the official. And she's laughing the official off. Maybe it's time for a yellow card for Coach Justman. And the Hansen serve, trailing by 4 to the back row. Wonewoc Center setting up a turn. Kelsey Justman is going to get Bezeric. They're going to call Bezeric for 2 hits off the Sullivan dig. And it'll be 20-15, a 5-point advantage to Stacy Copenhagen. Will step back, heading down the home stretch to serve to the Tigers. Dug out by Sullivan, set by Michelin Hansen. Lily von Falkenstein will hit it to the back row. And again, I've watched a lot of volleyball, folks. What they teach is someone to cover on that block, and Hillsborough has no coverage on the block. Lily von Falkenstein, Michelin Hansen, now Tony Mitchell. And Kelsey Justman with a full swing again. Sullivan, a diving Hansen, and now Tony Mitchell will dump it back in for the kill. And Hillsborough will pull back within 5 now, trailing 16-21. Cameron Hansen's going to come in for Tony Mitchell and serve the 5-point deficit to the Wolves. Hillsborough's going to have to play flawless here down the stretch. And there's an error on Hansen into the net. Give Wonewoc an easy point. 16-22, Hillsborough trails. Coming in and serving is Cadence Hamburg for the Wolves. She'll serve the 22-16. Sullivan to get out. Michelin Hansen to Tony Mitchell. Mitchell with a swing. Wonewoc Center trying to get something going here. And they get a kill right in front of Cameron Hansen, and it's 23-16. And there's just appears to be no life left in this Hillsborough team. They look like a ball that's been deflated. So Cadence Hamburg will drop back and serve the 23-16 to the Hillsborough defense. Dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen will volley it over deep. And now dug out by Cam Hansen. Michelin Hansen sets it. Tony Mitchell with a running kill. And it's saved by Kelsey Justman. Michelin Hansen will volley it back over. Stowe. Justman will get it volleyed over. Dug out by Sullivan. Set by Michelin Hansen. Here comes Kira Bezeric with a strong swing. Wonewoc Center reeling. Gerween's blocked. It's going to go out of bounds. And a point for Wonewoc Center. Sets up 24-16. Set point here in set number 2. Cadence Hamburg back to serve set point for the Wonewoc Center Wolves. Tony Mitchell dig it out, or rather Lily von Falkenstein. Tony Mitchell with a swing and an errant swing into the net. And Wonewoc Center will win set number 2, 25-16. So if I sound a little disappointed, I am. I think Hillsborough, for the most part, I think they laid down and died here late in that last set. Made some mistakes. We said at the top of the hour that Hillsborough could not afford mistakes. They can't afford errors. They're going to have to play their top game against Wonewoc, who's a top team. I said earlier in the week, a team in the Scenic Bluffs will be at the state tournament come November. Be that Wonewoc, be it Royal, be it Cashton, be it Hillsborough. One of those teams are going to be at the state tournament. That's a given. I strongly believe the Scenic Bluffs and volleyball for Division 4 is maybe the strongest conference in the state of Wisconsin, top to bottom. Maybe not the best team. I didn't say they're going to win the state championship. But I think that conference is almost guaranteed a berth. And which one of these teams is the team that comes to play here in a couple weeks and plays flawlessly, regardless of a conference championship? It could be Cashton, who now trails Royal 17-22 in set number 2. So Royal looking to even that series up. Hillsborough now, with their back against the wall, do or die, they have to win 3 in a row against a very talented Wonewoc Center Wolves team. Again, someone's got to, almost like man-to-man defense in basketball, they got to locate number 17 and get in front of 17. And Hillsborough's defense on that comment, when they do get in front of her, it seems like they back her up in the back row or middle of the court, and giving her room, and she's picking the defense apart and finding her swings. So she's going to get her full swings. The other thing Hillsborough can do that they haven't done well all year is their middle blockers are doing a good job tonight getting their hands on the ball, but the ball is hitting the floor. A lot of times, no coverage. And I've watched club volleyball all the way from the 12-year-old level up to national championship college volleyball. And one thing everybody teaches and everybody stresses is coverage. Defensive specialists, somebody's got to cover. Can't all sit in the back row and watch. And it's hard to do. It's hard to assign. But someone has to step up and do it. So Hillsborough, with their back against the wall, they have their team on the floor. Michelin Hansen, Violet Morin, Kira Bezeric in the front row. Back row, Cameron Hansen, Lily Von Falkenstein, and Tony Mitchell. The libero, Peyton Sullivan, waiting to check in. Wonewoc Center has Kelsey Justman, Jalen Stowe. Emma Milbrand, Stacy Copenhafer, Estana Greween, and Bryn Erdl on the floor. Libero Taylor Novi waiting to check in. As everybody makes their last checks and balances, now Taylor will check in for Erdl. Taylor Novi in for Erdl. And now Peyton Sullivan will check in. Nobody knows where the volleyball is. Tony Mitchell now is going to drop back behind the end line. She's awarded a volleyball. And set number 3, 0-0. Tony Mitchell to the defense. Wonewoc Center gets crossed right away. And a diving Kelsey Justman wasn't there to get the pass. She wanted to get that first swing. And so nobody on the same page for Wonewoc Center. Hillsborough, one of their few leads tonight, out to a 1-0 lead. Tony Mitchell serve it back into that defense again. Milbrand with a full swing. And there again, not a lot of coverage on the front row block. And it's 1-1. And the Stowe serve. Dug out by Sullivan. Bezeric, Michelin Hansen will volley it over. And that's going to go off the front row and out of bounds, the Wonewoc Center point. So it seems like when the front row blocks it, it falls to the floor because there's no coverage. And if they don't get it to fall to the floor, it bounces out of bounds. So Wonewoc Center getting full swings on Hillsborough. They lead 2-1, awaiting the Jalen Stowe serve. And there, caught Cam Hansen backpedaling. The ball drops in front of her. It'll be an ace for Jalen Stowe. And Hillsborough once again reeling on defense. And they have to pull it together. Their backs against the wall. It's do or die. And Wonewoc Center trying to make short work of the Tigers, leading 3-1. Dug out by Cam Hansen. Tony Mitchell chases it down. Michelin Hansen will volley it over. Wonewoc Center setting up Kelsey Justman. She's going to hit one. Kind of a screwball if you're pitching baseball. That one had a lot of English. Found the floor. Kelsey Justman, a good player, probably the best in the Scenic Bluff. And Jalen Stowe, she's going to dump one across. Dug out Cam Hansen. Tony Mitchell sets up Michelin Hansen. She'll pop it over. Wonewoc Center sets up a return. Comes Kelsey Justman. She's blocked by Michelin Hansen. And there again, Cam Hansen and Peyton Sullivan with the communication cross. Too late in the season. Talk, girls, talk. It's kind of like the silent football team we have where you can't hear them calling their signals on the field. Someone might hear the secret. Jalen Stowe, now Cameron Hansen digs it out. Tony Mitchell giving chase, and he'll pop that one into the student section. And Hillsborough down by 5, 6-1. So Cam Hansen's going to come out of the game. Christiana Britsky is going to come in and be a defensive specialist. Somebody's got to open their mouth on defense and talk. Jalen Stowe to the back row. They pick on Britsky right away. Now Tony Mitchell's going to pop it up. And Michelin Hansen will get it over the top of the defense. And they're going to call in the net on Wonewoc Center. I don't know what number they signaled. That must be some code that they got because there's no number like that on the floor. But either way, a violation on Wonewoc Center. Kira Bezeric serving the 2-6, and she apparently put it into the net. And it's 2-7. And tomorrow morning when these Tigers wake up, they're just going to shake their head and say, how did we lose that? Except we gave it away. And you might as well put frosting on a cardboard box and hand it over to Wonewoc right now. Cake eaters. Taylor Novi with a serve. Dug out by Lexi Thorson. Tony Mitchell is going to give it to Violet Morin. And Violet Morin, they're going to say, hit it and went out of bounds. It did not hit a front row defender. Errant hits. Errant serves. Hillsborough not playing well as we speak. 8-2 from Novi. Thorson, Mitchell. Here comes Michelin Hansen, strong to the back row. Wonewoc Center giving chase, and they can't keep it alive. Hillsborough finally on the board, only trailing by 5. 3-8. Peyton Sullivan will come in for Violet Morin and serve. Lily Von Falkenstein to the front row. And Sullivan with a 3-8 serve for Hillsborough. Kelsey Justman, Jalen Stowe, they set up Justman. She'll get a tip and out of bounds. No need to block that one, and Hillsborough back in the winner's column is a 4-8. Waiting the Sullivan serve. And they're going to a block up front that goes out of bounds off of Hansen Von Falkenstein. Wonewoc Center, Justman dropping back to serve the ball. Wonewoc Center gains a point. 9-4 they lead now, awaiting the Kelsey Justman serve. Bezerick will dig it out. Mitchell sets it up. Lily Von Falkenstein, and they're going to call 2 hits on the set by Tony Mitchell. So on the violation, a point for Wonewoc Center. 10-4, Wonewoc Center leads, and Kelsey Justman serves the ball. Dug out by Bezerick, set by Mitchell. Michelin Hansen with a kill. A whammy by Michelin Hansen. I'll try to get back into this game. Hillsborough only trailing by 5 in this do or die set. And Michelin Hansen back to serve with the 5-point deficit. Hansen to the back row. If they can keep Justman in the back row, that's where they need her. And Justman's going to just lob one over the top and hit in the middle of the floor where there's no Hillsborough Tigers. Peyton Sullivan doing her best to get to it. But that one can't hit the floor. Bezerick, Michelin Hansen with a set. Tony Mitchell with a swing and a kill for Tony Mitchell. So Hillsborough climbs back to within 5, and that's kind of been the story. Cam Hansen's going to check in for Lexi Thorson, and the senior will drop back and serve the 6-11 into the Wonewoc Center Wolves. Hansen to the back row. Wonewoc Center will set up Stowe, and Milbrandt with the swing. Rather, that was Gerween. Now they're going to set up Bezerick, who's going to swing and get a kill for Kira Bezerick. And it's 7-11. Tigers aren't done yet, folks. They got to win this one. They're climbing back into it. And Hansen back to serve the 7-11. We can only hope that Wonewoc Center with a big lead can become a little bit content. Stowe's going to set up Erdl. Dug out by Michelin Hansen. Now Stowe's going to set up, I think, Erdl again. Michelin Hansen again, Peyton Sullivan, and Tony Mitchell will volley it over. Justman, Stowe, again it was Erdl, and she's blocked up front by Tony Mitchell. And Kelsey Justman errantly hits it into the net. And Hillsborough will pull within 2, I believe. Maybe 3. It's 8-11 they're showing on the scoreboard. So the Cam Hansen 8-11 serve comes in near side. Stowe will set the ball. Gerween with a full swing dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen going to set up. Here comes Kira Bezerick. You're saying nobody touched the ball and sails out of bounds. So it'll be 12-8 Wonewoc Center. Milbrand into the front row. And back to serve is Cadence Hamburg for the Wolves, leading by 4. The Hamburg serve, dug out by Bezerick. Michelin Hansen going to set it up. Tony Mitchell, full swing, and they're saying it hit the Wonewoc Center defense. And they're giving the line judge the what? And now we're going to have a discussion by the officials. I think the officials want a number. They're sticking with the call. of the line judge, and it's 9-12 rather. And Lily Von Falkenstein back to serve the ball. The Von Falkenstein serve to the back row. And Milbrand is going to pound it over. Von Falkenstein, Michelin Hansen, Kira Bazarek can't get it over the net. We're called for 4 hits. The Wonewoc Center on another error will take the lead 13-9. And Estana Green will serve it up for the Wolves. Dug out by Sullivan. Michelin Hansen, Tony Mitchell coming with a swing. And they can't get it returned on the Tony Mitchell swing. And it's 10-13. Tigers starting to climb back into it. And Tony the Tiger Mitchell will drop behind the back line and serve up the 3-point deficit to the Wolf defense. To the back row. Stowe, full swing by Kelsey Justman. And I didn't see a call by the officials. They're going to talk this one over. And they're going to give the point to Wonewoc Center. So 14-10. And Stowe back to serve for Wonewoc Center. Dug out by Cam Hansen. Tony Mitchell's going to pass over to Michelin Hansen. And Michelin Hansen will paint it inside the front corner for a whammy. And Hillsborough only down by 3, 11-14. And the senior Kira Bazarek will drop behind the end line and serve for the Tigers. So the Bazarek serve off the top row. It's going to almost be an ace. Justman got a hand on it but couldn't get any help. And Bazarek hitting the tape on the net, rolling it over. Brings Hillsborough within 2, 12-14. The 12-14 Bazarek serve. Again, she handcuffs Justman, but Justman gets a full swing. It's blocked up front by Michelin Hansen. And Hillsborough within 1, 13-14. As for the time being, the Wonewoc Center student section quieted as the Hillsborough student section is starting to come to life. The senior Bazarek back to serve the 13-14. Clears the net to the back row. He'll set it up for, get a full swing. Mitchell dig it out. Sullivan passes it up. Violet Morin will tip it across. Justman, Stowe. Here comes Milbrand into the net. We're all tied up at 14. So Hillsborough working their way back from a 5-point deficit. And now Kira Bazarek serving up the tie game, 14-14. First time since it was 1-1. Bazarek to the back row. And the defense kind of reeling. Justman will get it volleyed over. Dug out by Bazarek. Set by Mitchell. Here comes Michelin Hansen. They're reeling. They will get it returned. Bazarek. Tony Mitchell. Violet Morin will pop it back to the defense. Wonewoc Center now. Justman with a full swing and off Alexi Thorson into the bench. Wonewoc Center will regain the lead by 1. 15-14. Ertl reports to the front row. The libero, Taylor Novi, to serve the ball. Sullivan will dig it out. Mitchell sets it up. Michelin Hansen will pump it to the back row. Here comes Wonewoc Center. Full swing, block. Justman blocked into the back, and it falls inside the end line, and we're tied again at 15. So the libero, Pate Sullivan, will drop back with a tie game, tie set. Hillsborough down 2 sets, needing this set number 3 to stay alive. Sullivan will go to the back row. Justman digs it out. Stowe's going to set it. There's Ertl. She's blocked up front. And they say it falls out of bounds on the block. Wonewoc Center will go +1. And Kelsey Justman for the Wolves back to serve, leading 16-15. The Justman serve. Dug out by Bazarek. Mitchell's going to pop it up. Lexi Thorson with a swing and a little bit wide right. Wonewoc Center now +2. So Kelsey Justman back to serve again. Dug out by Sullivan. Mitchell. Mitchell and Hansen's blocked, and it walks the tape down and to the floor. And now Wonewoc Center +3. Kelsey Justman trying to take the game into her own hands. Sullivan will dig it out. Mitchell sets it up. Swing by Lily Von Falkenstein, and a whammy right in front of Kelsey Justman. Brings Hillsborough back within 2. Hillsborough trailing 16-18. And Mitchell and Hansen back to serve for the Tigers. The Hansen serve to the back row. Stowe's going to set up Ertl. Hansen keeps it alive, now volleyed over by Bazarek. Hansen with a real hustle play. There, Sullivan hustling, but not quite enough to keep it alive. Wonewoc Center again +3 as Stacy Copenhafer will drop back and serve the 19-16 to Hillsborough. Bazarek, Hansen, Mitchell volleyed over. Stowe's going to set up Gerween, saved by Sullivan. They're going to say it hit the floor. It was 2 hits. Must be 2 hits on Mitchell and Hansen. And we're going to have a timeout by Coach Mark Sullivan as this team trails now by 4, 16-20. Hillsborough battling back, down by as many as 5. They're down by 4 now. They battle back to actually take the lead. And just Pate Sullivan took a dive on that last one, and the trainer's working on Sullivan. We'll see if we find a substitution for her. I'm sure that's what the timeout was for, is to give her a little more time to get worked over by the trainer and stretched out. She's been working through injury problems. We wish her the best. We hope she wasn't injured too badly. Wonewoc Center back already after the timeout. They lead 2-0. Hillsborough's back against the wall. Cash doing all they can to help Hillsborough out. Right now they're 1 set apiece over in Cashton. They trail Royal in set number 3, 13-14. Wonewoc Center trying to take things into their own hands. And if things hold true the way they are now, they could find themselves all by themselves at the top of the conference at the end of the night. Hillsborough not done yet. Peyton Sullivan back out on the floor after the timeout. Hillsborough set their defense, awaiting the Stacy Copenhafer 20-16 serve. It'll be dug out by Von Falkenstein, set by Mitchell and Hansen. Tony Mitchell with a whammy on the far the end line right in the middle of the court. Bring Hillsborough back within 3. Cam Hansen's going to check in now. 17-20. The senior will be serving into that Wolf defense. And she'll errantly serve. She's had a couple of those tonight. Hillsborough cannot afford to have errors. And Wonewoc Center back with their 4-point lead. Cadence Hamburg to serve the ball. And Sullivan will dig it out. Mitchell and Hansen. Tony Mitchell is going to swing and get it volleyed across. Here comes Kelsey Justman with a full swing again. Bazarek. Now Mitchell with a swing to get it across. We're going to set up near side again. That's Gerween and out of bounds. So Hillsborough will pick up a point. 18-21, and Lily Von Falkenstein will drop back and serve. Peyton Sullivan is going to take a break as Violet Warren will come in and play the front row. And Lily Von Falkenstein, 18-21 serve. To the back row of that Wolf defense. Stowe's going to set up Justman. And Justman, Tony Mitchell is going to set it up. Kira Bazarek volleys it over. Justman now digs it out. Stowe sets it up. Here comes Gerween. And she'll walk the wire down the net and makes it fall on Hillsborough's side. It's 22-18 Wolves. And Gerween back to serve the 4-point advantage heading down the home stretch. Sullivan will dig it out. Mitchell and Hansen, and now Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell with another whammy as she paints the far corner. Keeping Hillsborough alive, only trailing by 3, 19-22. And Tony the Tiger Mitchell back to serve again for the Tigers. The serve by the senior Mitchell to the defense. Defense reeling a little bit. They'll get an adjustment. She goes, might have been out the back door. Cam Hansen gets her fists on it and goes up onto the stage. So Wonewoc Center now leading by 4 again. And Jalen Stowe is going to back behind the end line and serve the 23-19 advantage to the Tiger defense. We're going to have another timeout by Coach Mark Sullivan as he'll talk it over. Hillsboro, at least, I don't feel has given up in this third set. The second set, I think when Hillsboro got down by 6-8 points, they just said, well, that's enough for us. And you can just tell by their play. They were lackluster. I'm not going to say they were lazy. Not going to say they don't care, but their tentative appearance on the floor was not the same as it was the first set. And the second set, I think they've been playing their hearts out. They just made a few too many mistakes. And it's not over yet. Hillsboro's going to have to go after the Wolves. Of course, the Wolves can play like they've got nothing to lose because they're up 2-0. They really have nothing to lose. So Jalen Stowe back after the timeout to serve the 4-point advantage coming down the home stretch into the Hillsboro defense. Dug out by Sullivan, set up by Mitchell. Here come Mitchell and Hansen, strong swing, and is saved by Taylor Novi. Now if Stowe get an adjustment, she'll lob one in. Mitchell will dig it out. Sullivan going to pass it up. Rayona Grunert in the game, she'll get a swing. And now Milbrandt with a swing, saved by Mitchell. Mitchell and Hansen's going to pop it over the net in the volley. Stowe's going to set up Copenhaver. She'll get it across. Well, Mitchell and Hansen will put it to the back row. Stowe's going to set up Justman, full swing. Sullivan's going to volley it back. And Sullivan's volley handcuffs Groween in the middle of the court. And Hillsboro with the serve now and within 3, trailing 20-3. Lexi Thorson checking into the game, into the front row for Cam Hansen. Rayona Grunert dropping back to serve the ball for the Tigers, trailing 20-23. Grunert serve errantly into the net. Will set up 24-20 and set point as Kira Bazarek will check in for the Tigers. Taylor Novi to serve up. Game point for the Wolves. She'll serve it in. Dug out by Sullivan, who's handcuffed him to the floor. And Wonewoc Center will sweep the Tigers, winning set number 3, 25-20. Wonewoc Center winning 26-24, 25-16, and 25-20. 3-0. Currently, Wonewoc Center, by percentage points, is all alone in first place in the Scenic Bluffs. Royal beating Cashton in set number 3, 23-17. We're going to sign off. If you guys want to watch Royal and Cashton, you can go to the Cashton High School YouTube channel. That is tied up 1-1 in the best of 5. Right now, Royal is playing for set point in set number 3, 24-17. Cashton serving, trailing by 1. And so Royal about ready to win set number 3. And they just did. So Royal wins set number 3, goes up an advantage of 2-1 on Cashton. So if the Royal wins the next set, they'll be tied with Wonewoc in first place. Hillsboro is going to move into second place, and Cashton will be in third place. That being said, I'm as disappointed as anybody. I'd like to thank the 115 viewers that we had, 116 viewers. I'm watching the Cashton game. They've only got 44, and they're heading into set number 4. So if you guys want to help Cashton out and watch more volleyball, Cashton Royal on the Cashton YouTube station. We have awesome fans. Wonewoc fans that are watching, you're awesome too. You're one of the few schools that invite us into your school to live stream. Who knows? We may be there doing a regional final. We don't know. We'll see. If you guys invite us, be happy to come. It all uphill from Hillsboro here. They controlled their own destiny coming into the game. Now they need a lot of help. They need to beat Royal, and they need someone to beat Wonewoc. And the way Wonewoc played tonight, and looking at Wonewoc's schedule, what they have left, I don't see anybody beating Wonewoc. So Not declaring Wonewoc Conference champions now, but they sure have the inside track. This game was for the inside track to the conference championship, and Wonewoc came out, took care of business, wins 3-0 over the Tigers. Congratulations to the Wolves. As much as I hate wolves, not the people, not the students, just the animal, I got no time for wolves. So I plead to Wonewoc Center to change your mascot. With that being said, for my technical director, Jill Steckel, doing a fine job tonight. Grab your winter jacket. You'll need it the next couple days, and then back into the 70s for Sunday, I think. So going to be a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow night, we will have high school football. The Hillsborough Tigers welcome the Highland Cardinals to town. Hillsborough Tigers are back against a wall, do or die, a must-win game for Hillsborough. It's a winnable game for Hillsborough. We'll see which team shows up. So with that being said, I'd like to bid you all a good night and see you tomorrow night.